Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumble through! Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through, fumbling through. Fumbling through!
Oh, happy days! It's time for Fumble Through!
Fumble Through!
A podcast that once tried to jump over a pool full of sharks on its motorbike. Hey there, fancy peeps, and welcome to our weekly dose of amazing goodness that heals the hurts of the world, soothes the soul, and makes me feel a little bit better about the itchy rash I get if I don't rub the lotion on the skin. I have been wondering lately, as I have a wondering for you people, is it okay for us to listen to our own podcast? And it is okay if you don't, but my question very early on to engage you, because I couldn't be bothered writing an introduction this week, is this: do you listen to our podcast? If so, what are you doing? And in particular, what are you listening for? This is not the dicey question. So who listens to our podcast?
I do from time to time listen to it on not the pre-release bit, but the actual released version.
Yeah, when it's out.
Yeah, just a little bit of collar control, and just in a sense of just seeing if I do sound as amazing as I think I do.
And do you?
I do, actually.
Yeah.
And I make myself laugh a lot.
I'm the only one.
fucking guy.
It's good for reaffirmations and stuff. What about you, Lindsay?
I do sometimes. I'm not at the moment. It depends. One, it depends on how much Justin has annoyed me that week, if I can stand to hear his voice again. And then it just depends what I'm doing. I've been listening to a lot of other podcasts and audiobooks to put my youngest daughter to sleep.
Yep.
You use our podcast?
No, because if I play, I was trying to, but every time she'd hear my voice, she'd look around, which was really annoying. So I'm having to go to other podcasts. But
Okay.
Do you, Justin?
I listen. So for a long time last year, I was doing the editing. So I was listening, and I wasn't listening back to the pre-releases or the releases. But now, because you're doing the editing, I find that I come back and I listen to them as they're released in the morning.
How's that?
I find that I turn off when the game starts.
Right.
So I tend to listen. If I'm listening to the game, I'm listening for a voice that I've got to remember, for I'm like, oh, we're recording. I better brush up on what's happening, or the game, or parts of that. But what I really enjoy is, because I forget. Like, I know I'm in the room, but we forget sometimes the throwaway comments that we haven't prepared and stuff. And sometimes genuinely, it's kind of nice for the soul. I will say though, this week I got in the car on Monday morning and I needed something to just reaffirm myself that I'm a human being that's making something worthwhile. And boy, oh boy, did we fuck up on this week's episode.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Well, not just, I shouldn't say me. Well, it was like fuck up level. It was probably my mindset, but I was like, nothing's right. I'm a middle-aged man. It's all shit. I'm going to do something with my life. Listen to the podcast. Like, maybe that's the thing I'm doing. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. I fucked up talking. I fucked up words. I fucked up rules. It was pretty. And Lindsay, thank you for calling me out on all of them.
you're welcome.
Interestingly, that was the edited version, Justin.
Yeah, wow, that's right.
So, as you say, I've been editing, so I do listen regularly to us.
Yeah.
I listen to those, and again, when I edit them, I turn off at the game. So that might explain why that release was so shit. I listen to them with a couple of different ears on. So one's to listen for different noises and different sounds. One's to listen for the story arc and what makes sense. And one's to listen for the grabs that we've been doing, because I've been really enjoying putting those sound bites out with our socials. If you haven't heard them, jump on our Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, like us, review us. It's a great place to be. So I'm listening to that, but I've also just started going back to episode 0.
Oh, I do.
Right back to the beginning, and I've really enjoyed the story arc. Like I'm listening to it for the story arc. So, and I'm really enjoying it. I think genuine laugh out loud moments, even though I was in the room.
Because Mikey's funny.
Yeah, there is that. And I'm doing it, so I'm editing. You kind of have to sit down at the computer and be kind of on to do that stuff. There's note taking and a whole bunch of stuff to happen. But when I'm listening just to the podcast, I'm masturbating. It's fine.
I've gone back to the older episodes because I know that at some point we're winding up, and I've missed Reg and I've missed Reg a lot. So I've gone back to listen to those last couple of episodes, sort of to remember where we were, because it's been a break that's been longer than I thought. So getting back to the statue of the I think it's Gent or Gwent or whatever his name is. Dervin Guest is his name, actually. So going back and listening to that and getting to where we were with Tia, and so there's little parts of that.
Well, I've just listened to the introduction of Miles in a sack, and Mikey getting really pissed off that I interrupted him in a challenge, and that was, the name of the Overshooter challenge was the name of the episode.
Yeah.
It was a really, really fun. It was really just enjoying it as if there were other people.
Yeah. Well, I often get to work where Luke and I both make our livings, and I say to Luke, I feel like I've hung out with you all morning because I've been listening on the way to school. I'm like,
I'm sick. He avoids me.
Yeah, I'm sick of you now. Go away. I've heard enough of your voice, of your weird English accent today.
I listen to it in the car when I'm driving around, and Dimity jumped in the other day, and I went, well, you have to listen. I was driving her to work for some stupid reason. And I said, well, you have to listen to the podcast because that's what I'm listening to. And I got about 20 minutes through before there was enough sighs and inhales and exhales from her seat that I had to turn it off because she was putting a downer on my enjoyment so bad.
My kids actually quite like it. It's just our content's not appropriate for a 17-year-old.
For a 17-year-old. Gee.
That's right. So, look, I thank you for indulging us listeners for talking about listening to our own podcast. I realize how awful and self-gratifying that exactly is. We can pull our pants up now and move on, even though Lindsay, Brett has cut your grass a little bit. Socials?
Well, yes, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can send us dicey questions to ask, like this one from John Dreesens, which is, funnily enough, related to an earlier episode.
Are we doing this before the drinks? Because
Wow, you went without any lube at all.
You just threw it back, threw it to me.
I love
This
it.
is just a little one. It's a warm-up one.
It's because I'm off the booze still.
Do you prefer...
Who's Bush? What?
The Mighty Bush.
Anyway, the question from John Dreesens is, do you prefer rapier up, pistol down, or pistol up, rapier down?
Oh, pistol. Oh, okay. I'm pretty down for rapier. Rapier down.
I don't
pistol
understand.
up.
What do you mean?
Rapier down.
I
pistol
saying which
up.
one to fight or which way to pose.
When you're posing,
Do you not recall we had an episode?
Yeah, rapier, pistol up, rapier down.
Yeah, pistol up, rapier down.
I'd do the same, yeah. Pistol up, rapier down.
I think it depends on whether it's pre-fight or post-fight. If it's post-fight, pistol down. If it's pre-fight, pistol up.
It depends on the pistol, actually. If it's a musket pistol,
You don't want the ball falling out, right?
you don't want. Not if your
Not if
rapier's
you're about
down.
to rapier.
That's a sharp edge.
This is a very on-edge question. There's one slip and we are cancel culture.
Yeah, it's all.
I think that was
a
his
bar
idea.
mitzvah.
That's funny.
All right, well, thank you, John Dreesens.
Is there more of those?
Yes, I will
Okay.
have more coming.
Oh, cool. They're
but I
fun.
do have
That's
a big,
fun.
We are going to
like
continue our...
Yeah, well, before we do
Character
that,
sheet.
I need to have a drink. Today's
ice cube.
beverage Justin's not drinking still because what a tool. Good on you, Justin.
Look, can I say, since
For
I've
showing
stopped
some
drinking,
principle.
I feel older and more tired than ever.
And
It's
you
not
look
been
it.
enjoyable.
And you look it.
And stressed out.
I thought Justin would join us with a ginger beer
Oh,
tonight.
I'm so jealous right now.
So today's ginger beer
It
is
looks so
a
good.
hard ginger beer called the Rangatang.
It looks so good.
When the Rangatang rings, this hard ginger beer brings refreshingly sweet with a mild kick. Chomp responsibly. It looks beautiful, and I got it because there's a big orange orangutan on it. 1.2 standard drinks of 4% ABV, so light as we drink them, I guess. I'm just trying to find the brewery.
Light for us, anyway.
What's the brewery? Oh. And so we're pouring it into a glass with ice and with lime because that's how you drink these things.
Ice in a
Gluten-free,
slice. Ice in a
free,
slice.
vegan friendly.
Does that mean it doesn't insult vegans or...
I don't know.
Doesn't look like it's Ranger friendly.
Oh, that's good.
Is there that much difference between each brand of ginger beer there?
I find
I
there
have
is,
not-
yeah.
Yeah.
I have not been as jealous of you people as I am right now. Can somebody, as I crack my can of, I know Brett had bought me some ginger beer, but I am opening this icy cold beverage of bubbly dark goodness of a company that will remain anonymous.
All right.
Unless they
actually,
want to
that's pretty
sponsor
good.
us, and then they can sponsor us for a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't mind that big corporate dollar. I'm having the orangutan out of the can first, so I don't get it tainted with lime.
It's not as you know, some ginger beers have that really big burn.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
but,
yeah,
and
the
also
ginger.
it's
this
not,
is light.
it's not sweet, like
No,
as
yeah,
in
yeah,
sickly
yeah.
sweet.
No, this is real. Oh, Justin,
It's very well balanced.
I
on the
hate myself
palate.
for doing this, Justin.
I'm missing out, aren't I? No, I
right.
can't.
Well,
I made-
Sniff it.
We'll put that can in the fridge for you for later.
Oh, you know what we should do? One day I'll get Luke to pick me up on the way here, and I'll drink all the cans that I missed in one sitting.
Oh, because if we didn't want night
we
guy
do
from
that?
up, we want him.
Yeah.
Imagine, and without drinking for so long, that's going to be hardcore because there were some 2.4
We're coming up to
standard
our 100th
drinks.
episode. 100th episode.
Oh, sorry, that's 12 standard drinks apparently.
That's what I was going to say. It is a hard ginger.
We should do night guy DMs. And then have him
Oh.
drink every drink.
I'll put the jumping castle up. Get the smoke machine together.
It's coming back up. Oh, that's pretty funny.
Do you know what would go great with that?
Another beer?
Some whiskey.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
There's whiskey on the
it looks
shelf over
so
there.
nice. It's so light and just describe it for me, please.
It's a maker's mark on the shelf.
It looks like cloudy lemonade to me.
Mhm.
It does. That's right.
Okay, he's sipping it.
Mm.
Tell me more.
I wouldn't.
So there's not an overly spicy ginger like you were saying about sometimes you get it hits you in the back of the throat. It's actually a bit too much.
Yep.
It's very mild in that sense, but what's really nice is it's quite a dry flavor to it. So there's not too much sugar that usually I find makes the alcoholic ginger beer is very unpalatable and just too sweet. This I could get wrecked on.
As you breathe out, though, there's a big ginger hit as you breathe out on it. It's not hitting you as you drink it, but it hits as you kind of put it through the.
It's a nice warm night.
This is
drink.
This is yeah. And I'm just thinking it could probably be a good base for a cocktail as well.
Ooh, nice. What about you, Lindsay? I know you're not a beer drinker as such. Where does the ginger beer sit on your
I actually
world?
quite enjoyed ginger beer. This one to me has a little bit of a beerish taste, like that aftertaste of it.
Okay.
We need to save that one for you.
Yeah, we do. We really
Okay.
do. It's made by the beer company, so it might
Oh,
be
okay.
that might be why it's got a beer aftertaste. It's
Yeah.
hanging out with.
It's not an unpleasant beer aftertaste, but like
No.
like that. It's alcoholic, whereas if you drink some alcoholic ginger beers and it just tastes like normal ginger beer,
Yeah.
this one it has that taste that kind
Yeah.
of reminds you of like a cider or a lager or something.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Nice.
One of my favorite things about it is the can, because it's got the orangutan facing you, and it's got a face on one side and the back of the orangutan on the other side, so you can have a front and a back, and they've lined up the face of the ranga with the way you drink it. So yeah, it's just
I
fun.
even like the 4-pack that it
Not
comes
mine.
from.
Yeah.
The orangutan's face is where you put your finger to hold the 4-pack. That's very
It's
cool.
very
too.
clever, very clever.
It would have been funny if it was its butt. Come on. Yep. Yeah, I'm not drinking.
So, getting back to our character
Oh,
role
yes.
playing,
Oh, I thought there was more questions.
what were we calling it?
Our tables.
Our tables, yes.
The tablet.
We need. You've had time to think about it, so we need some
Uh-huh.
more.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it
options
all.
to put on our
Just
table.
like when I was at school, I did my homework.
Yep. So we're going to try and steer towards, I think, not anything real super detrimental, but something that's going to force them to, I think, act a certain way in a certain location. Not certain location, sorry. Act a certain way that might be different from their class or race. So, you know how we were talking about at one stage. Sorry, I'm just going to wait.
You're gonna have to just tell me. I can't understand the reference.
Just talk.
Oh, didn't you say that you wanted to mention somebody from school? Who was that? That you were like my friend on the podcast?
Oh yes.
I like that I'm passing a note to Luke.
It's very distracting.
And he went, or teacher went, I'll just wait.
Lindsay got distracted by it. I'm not even showing it to Lindsay. And he still got
still
distracted. He's like,
I'll just wait while you guys.
I'll just wait, yeah.
Year 7, I will await. You at the back there, sit down.
Would you like me to read that note out to the whole class?
That was like me on parade today.
Fuck off.
Look, we can sit here all day. You have 30 seconds.
Anyway, so what I was thinking is, Drip's books?
Yep.
Everyone's read the Drip's books?
Yeah.
Canterbury, who was obviously raised by dwarves. So even though she's a human, but because she was raised by dwarves, it kind of changed the way she acted and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to think of something. Things like that, I reckon, is what we should go for in this couple we do today.
Gotcha.
Ways that will twist your character in a way that you weren't expecting.
All right, go on.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to go?
Yeah, if you got one.
Okay, you were raised in a town full of gnomes, and because of the height of the door frames and the houses, you have a permanent stoop.
What if you are a
'Cause you're-
gnome or a halfling?
No, you're like a medium-sized creature,
So
but you have a
It's a
stoop.
racial.
So you're a human with a stoop. So you have a hunch. You're permanently like you
Okay.
have a
I want to make it broad, so it doesn't
in
matter
a
what
short.
race you are.
Okay, so you were raised. You're a medium-sized creature raised in a small creature's world.
Or vice versa.
But then that wouldn't like you to pretend to be tall to get through a window.
Stooping to get through the
So-
doors is where Justin's heading.
Yeah, you're permanently bent over
Yes,
because
or
of that.
you're a gnome who's been raised by people much larger than himself, so uses weapons oversized.
So he's got a
and-
flip top lid.
Yeah, so I want to flip it so that it's not only medium creatures can use it. I want to make it so everyone can use. If you roll this one, you can be any character and it can be use it.
Yeah, but if you use oversized weapons, that's broken. You just broke the game.
Probably broke it.
Broke it. Broke the game. Oversized weapons.
I think
break
that's
the game.
right. And I think if you're a medium sized creature and you have this and you're stooping, you start with 10 gold pieces extra because you're looking at the floor the whole time. And if
You're
you're
good
a,
at following tracks.
Yep. If you're a small creature in a large place, then you know what the weather's going to be like.
You always know when someone's got bats in the cave.
+3 on survival. Luke, you got one?
Not yet. No, I'm just thinking. Hang on.
He's looking it up on his phone.
I'm thinking seeing if there's a name for it.
Oh, you're thinking there might be something in existence already?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you haven't read a rule book, so nobody thinks that
Yeah, but I
you're
want to have
stealing
at
it.
least some authority here.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Brett, what have you got?
I'm just working around the edges of an idea now. Very hard to do homework when you don't know what the question is on the homework. I had a list of a whole heap of other things that I could have come to the table with, but not this.
Oh.
So hang on. Let's re-go the criteria again. Just it has to be something that randomly.
Something that twists the way your character sees the world or acts around the world. So like adopted, etc., etc.
Adopted. Just
that one.
adopted.
Yada, yada, yada.
That was-
Adopted.
That was the
Etc.
example I used at the beginning. Adopted by dwarves, you see the world a bit more like a dwarf.
So I wonder if you were raised on a poppy farm and then you are immune to, like, you've got a higher +4 on illicit substance.
You guys are so specific. Go
I
on.
thought that's what we wanted. Raised by, like, you're in a...
Yep. Raised on drugs. Got it. Yep.
No, you're around drugs the whole time, so you know how to behave while in a state so it doesn't impact you as badly as it would
Oh,
someone
like
else.
a fortitude save
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
bonus
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, so, I'm thinking,
Grundener, man.
not as bad as, I've been taking iocane powder for all my life and I'm immune somewhere halfway between the regular pleb who hasn't taken poppy seeds and someone who might have been a heroin addict,
Got it. Yep. I'm going to rewrite all these a little bit because the idea is to not have any physical rules so they can be applied to any different game. So it's only role playing.
Okay, so you were brought up amongst flying creatures who live in like high perched areas, that kind of stuff. Any flying creature will do. You're in a wheelchair.
+4 to ramp making.
Luke? I'm just gliding. Luke?
I don't know. I don't know.
But do you know?
No, something along the lines of like every time you have a verbal interaction with a female character, you roll a d6. Evens, you get an unexpected erection.
Oh, you went to boys' school? All boys' school.
and you work in a childcare
Yeah, so
facility.
evens, you get an unexpected erection, and odds, you get an unexpected erection.
You get an expected erection.
An expected erection. That would have been better. I was thinking, like, no, something like, actually, no, like you've been raised in a male dominant society, or like in an area which is just males. So, like, I don't know, do like Raj from Big Bang Theory. You
can't
talk to women.
to women.
Yeah. I'm going to change that to gender dominant.
Gender dominant.
So you can do it if you're a female.
Yeah.
You're raised in an Amazonian society.
What about you, Lindsay? Have you got one?
I'm going to go one I mentioned a little bit last week, but didn't go into age. One of my favorite characters I've ever played was my 16-year-old cleric that I played in one of our home games.
Unexpected erection.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was his name.
I've already nailed the market on that.
Actually, no, 16, very expected.
But like, I really enjoyed the fact that I could literally choose to do stupid shit because it was in the character. Saying that, I've never played an old character either. So I kind of like the idea of age being a factor that severely changes the way you play your characters. So I'm going to put age table in my table within the table.
Okay.
With like niggling injuries.
Yeah. You know,
Couldn't be asked.
an old fighter, a young wizard.
An incontinent old fighter.
Yeah.
The Alzheimer's wizard.
Oh.
So, well, there was, I believe there was a trait in one of the old games where you were of age and you would leave behind actually, no, it wasn't an age specific thing, but everywhere you would go, you would leave one of your items behind. So if you
Do
stayed
you
somewhere for
randomly
more than
select the
half an
item?
hour, you had to roll on the
that
table.
sucked.
And then
Yeah.
you'd be
You have
like,
magic
I've
items.
misplaced this item.
Did it have to be loose though, or did it something?
No, it's something
on you?
on you. So like, it's
Yeah.
like you've put your hat
Yeah,
down.
my plus
hat's
4.
gone. Yeah. My
Oh.
wands are gone. Or
Oh, no,
my
no.
pouch is not there.
Gee,
Yeah,
what's the
that's
trade off
great.
for that? There must was that not what's the opposite of a trait?
Yeah, I think there was a trade-off.
Something
that
else ends up in your pack and you don't know how you got it.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
you could pull out stuff. Mate, I don't know. I can't remember.
Would that mean you'd lose any kind of advantage in a surprise round because you can't call people by their name for a good round?
Nice.
Sonny, stop that. But you
Can I just throw back? This is
It's delightful, isn't it?
delicious.
It's a delicious drink.
Especially because it's warm.
Justin, mate, you
Yeah.
are missing a trip here. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't feel bad at all.
no.
There were other beers in there that we could have had tonight that I'd steered away from because I wanted you to be included. I don't feel like you are left out.
You're being targeted,
Look.
basically.
It was a choice that I made, and some choices have consequences. So I wear that one. Oh, choices and consequences. Now that could be something interesting. A choice that you made early in your life has left you with
an
a
erection.
with a visible mark that ties you to some kind of like nefarious gang or something like that.
Okay.
Like, you know, you've got like a gang tribal tattoo or an expected erection.
Luke got me to start with, and then the whole time you were.
I know. I was trying to play through.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to try
That's
and
what
stay
she
on point.
said.
It's what I do for a living, Lindsay. Just ignore everybody around me.
Just, yeah,
Actually,
ignores
in
everything I
life.
say.
Yeah, everything in life. I just ignore everything.
So we're up to 15.
Are we?
Yep.
Including
So-
your tables, which have another 10 in each?
Yes.
You live in a desert. You are constantly thirsty. And so
And
every
cold.
hour or so, you need to stop to get water. So if you have one water skin, you will drain that in 2 hours. And you have to constantly find water.
What
to-
happens if you move out of the desert?
What? No, just because you've lived in the desert, you need to be constantly hydrated.
That is one of the things I want to do in one of my ideas is an environmental, you're raised in a certain environment and how that impacts your characters.
Mm.
Like if you were Because, like, you know, you see people all the time come from much colder climates and they come to, you know, somewhere like
Australia. So
Yeah.
like
the Fumble factory
Well, no.
right now.
Well, no, that's like we,
so like
we die.
from England to Australia.
No,
that
like
kind of
somewhere
thing?
like it's still cold. From colder to it's still cold, but they're like, this is hot.
Oh, like so when people from
Norway.
Scotland go to Bristol.
Yeah. You know, how does that affect it? Or if you were like, you know, as I said, a druid raised in a city. I think we need to save our last 4 for next week.
Okay.
Oh, there's more.
Well, we're going to pick 4 more. That gives us 20.
What's the brief for next time? Same thing?
What do you guys want to do? If you guys want homework to actually think about it, what do we got? We got
Look, here's what I think should be in the brief. An erection.
I got one. You're a character. You're a character. You're a character who just can't let a simple joke go.
No punchline is too low.
Yeah, you continue just to hammer it. It's called the Saturday Night Live affliction. You got one punchline, you just keep going. That's what she said.
Just the tip.
I was going to say just the tip in our first recording. At the
Lots of
beginning.
erections.
Do we need some boons?
And then we have the ones we've done today.
I think we do need some boons.
I think we needed some more boons.
So for the last 4, they're the like super positive
Yeah, but
things.
not
So you can drink-
super specific.
Not like you can
I
drink
want it-
34 cans on a flight from
I
London
want it to be able
Brisbane.
to be applied to any race, any gender, any class, okay?
Any race, any gender, any
So
class.
inclusive
Yeah.
boons.
Right. Equitable.
Yep.
And a boon.
Yep. Something, that can just be seen mostly as positive because we've already got volume control issues, must
Yep.
eat with hands,
Right, yeah.
must move towards bright lights.
That's good, Lindsay. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
can-
That was painful, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Your,
Now you know what it
your
feels
pleasure.
like. Ironically, though, go to Lindsay.
Oh, yeah. Shit.
Bring it home, Lindsay. Hang on.
Hey, have you got any more of those questions?
I will do more next week. I'm going to spread them out.
Oh, I thought you might ask them throughout today's show.
No, I'm going to spread them out over a long period of time.
Okay.
Rapid fire over a long period of time.
Yeah, they're going to be they're going to be my intro to the intros. I hate you guys today.
Oh. Nice.
I'm just going to... I am in a mood.
The ginger beer is helping,
I'm
right?
coming out of a melancholy.
You have a new dog.
And I'm straight into the collie.
Oh, that one got me.
Falcon's Lodge was a welcome respite for the weary adventurers. Hot food, good wine, and welcome company heals the body and the spirit before the trio tear themselves away to continue their quest to deliver goods to some loggers. Upon arriving at the loggers' camp, they find half of the camp ravaged by dragon sign, and the other half knocked down by something that they haven't quite figured out. When suddenly the earth quivers and something attacks from underneath. That's where we're at.
Sweet.
Something praying mantis-like, large.
So where we left it, you had just walked into the first of a circle of tents when the ground had indeed shaken, and up through the floor, almost piercing a rut in the ground, you see first a mandible, then like I guess a scorpion-like or praying mantis like forearms start crawling out as a hard carapaced creature with huge mandibles runs straight over to the ground over what would have been a fireplace, I believe about 60 foot from you.
Huh. Right side still, right?
What's that?
Right side still.
You are outside still.
So I'm going to do something a little out of the ordinary. I'm going to take off
What?
and
you
go.
taking off?
Just go. Yeah, I'm going back to Fandolin.
Yeah, so I'll go into the air.
Mhm. Before we do that, though, initiatives.
I must confess to an unfair advantage. My 8-year-old was down here rolling my dice earlier. So I'm expecting big things.
Should have touched mine.
What's going to happen if they don't come to fruition? Someone's getting aground and...
I have only one child. My initiative is 6.
Okay.
He's dead to me.
Back to the melancholy.
Naked?
So in the explosion of the ground,
Yeah.
it's obviously disrupted a lot of insects. So Nykrin's got a little distracted and is pecking at the ground
Okay.
with an initiative roll of 1, giving me a grand total of 3.
Oh. And J.R. Lockwood.
I've got a 16.
There we go.
Ooh,
There we
that's
go.
pretty exciting.
On an unrelated matter, does anyone want to adopt an 8-year-old?
Only a few miles on him. All right. So the creature that is before you right now looks something like this. Who would like to describe this?
Oh, that looks like a pope, but he's got a pope cap on.
No, not my erection.
He does kind of have a Pope cap on.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Looks like a Tyranid warrior.
Yeah, it does look
Oh,
like a
yeah,
Tyranid
yeah.
warrior. It's like a big praying mantis,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, is
With a crown.
with a crown. That's correct. J.R. Lockwood, you get the drop on this creature. Well, you don't get the drop on this creature, but you get to move first.
How far away is it again?
About 60 feet from you.
John Dreesen's also suggested we should do a Pinterest to upload things like this.
Oh,
Because if we create a Pinterest and just pin all this stuff on it,
that's a great idea. I don't know what the copyright issues are. We'll look into that. But I'd love to have
The thing is, it's
a
not-
Pinterest space where people can put artwork up.
well, none of the stuff in here is
Erections?
like we're not selling it. It's just a spot of these are the things that are in our campaign. So
Yeah.
What people can access.
yeah, so
like,
the
just
people, if
copy it
people want to go, what are they talking about? They can literally just go there and have a look.
Yeah, okay. I'll look. I'll get the legal team onto that.
Yeah, cool.
J.R. Lockwood, what are you going to do first as you are heading? So basically, the way that you've come up to the pathway, you've left the bullock behind so that is not anywhere near. What was the bullock's name?
Pellboy,
No, it was called like cow or something.
Veer.
Wait, Kill Bill? No.
Vecna.
No, Vecna's hand. It's only got one hand. I believe it was Vincent. wasn't
Vincent
it?
Van
Vincent
Cow.
said.
Yeah, it was Vincent.
Vincent Van Cow was an ox, not a bull.
Yeah. Well,
with one ear.
yeah. So as you've left Vincent behind in the woods, you are moving now. I guess never eat soggy Weet-Bix. You're moving westward along a pathway. As you've gotten to the pathway, you've gone about 60 feet away from the first camp. And here you can see those tumble down kind of structures. There's a larger log area that's still intact, like a structure that's still intact. But then there are smaller huts that have been knocked over in past years. You don't think that's like a recent thing with chimneys that still stand. But what you do see is this row of tents that are around that have been crushed and trampled as if something's gone through here. It's now that you notice lots of ruts in the ground as well as if something has sort of burrowed their way. And you can see like tent poles have been snapped. In some places you can see that some of the tents have almost had holes like they've been melted in them with fire or something along those lines. There's like structures that like a barrel's had part of it eaten away as in like it's sort of melted away. What are you going to do?
Delay. I'm just delaying for the moment
Okay.
because I am trying to figure out. Can I make just a knowledge check on what it is first?
Yep.
Let's just do that.
Okay. Just a knowledge nature, please.
Nature.
This is a whopping skill check by me. I'm assuming 2 is not going to do it.
No, it's not. You think that at some point this might be a crustacean, maybe a prawn.
Sorry,
That
4.
you think that it's a lobster
It's a lobster.
that's come out of the river lobster, a mud
prawn.
Yeah, that's come out. So you've delayed yourself, which gives the creature an opportunity to move. The first thing it does is it moves up 30 feet. So it moves over the ground on top of the area 30
Does it seem like it's moving comfortably above ground?
Yeah, it's walking pretty naturally. Like it's you
Has
don't
it got
you
one
think
leg
that-
shorter than the other?
You think that its ability to move is not hindered by the ground, like it is earth walking.
No, I just wondered if it looked like it would be more comfortable under the ground.
It looks like it can do that as well,
Oh.
just judging by how it's popped up. It does look like it's got a burrowing feature to it. It moves up within 30 feet of you, and you hear it just all of a sudden like a weird noise. And a spray of acid comes shooting towards you in a line. Now, I am going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt that you weren't walking in single file
Correct.
as you came up. So I'm going to roll a d6. Could I get you each to roll a d6? And whoever's numbers are close to mine, within one of each side, perhaps, it may get you. So this could actually mean that all three of you, one of you, or none of you get hit. What'd you roll?
I got a 1.
Okay.
6.
Okay.
2.
I'm sorry, Nacron, but I also rolled a 6. So this sklob of acid comes flying at you at the moment.
I thought I was done there with a 1 and Justin rolling.
Yeah, that's true. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Sure. 19.
Ooh, that is an actual save, but as you jump out of the way, one of your wings gets caught by acid and you take 5 points of
5?
acid damage. Half of the damage you think you might have taken had you not done that.
All right.
That brings us to Moradius. Moradius, you find this creature 30 feet away from you.
Moradius is going to not enter rage, but he's going to make a reckless attack against this thing.
Wowza.
So reckless attack is advantage on my first attack during a round.
So you move up 30 feet?
No, I'm throwing a javelin at it.
Oh, so you can reckless attack and throw
Just
things.
any attack.
That's pretty cool.
So the first roll was a 17 and the second was a 4. So that is possibly a hit with a 21.
A 21 is going to meet its armor class and exceed it.
Which is 4 points of damage.
4 points of damage as a javelin, you say,
One of my 8 javelins.
comes slicing into the creature.
8.
And you can see the javelin hits its carapace, causing a large crack and sort of sticks in. The creature immediately rears up, moving its feet and snaps off part of the javelin, but you can see the barb still sticking
Oh,
out
that
a
was
little
my favorite javelin.
bit. Shouldn't have thrown it away then. Nacron.
Okay, so Nykron's going to take to the air 50 feet straight up and then is going to fire a firebolt
Okay,
at the creature
sure.
for a 20 to hit.
Oh, okay. That is definitely going to hit. You guys are rolling well. I like it.
Surprised.
And for
I am.
a grand total of 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage.
Fire damage. If that makes
Okay.
any difference, I don't know.
All right, so 8 points of damage again comes screaming into the creature. You can smell seafood. Round number 2. That starts us with J.R. Lockwood, unless you wanted to come out of your holding pattern.
There's no point. It's the same.
Yep.
It's the same. So I'm going to. I'm within 60 feet.
Yep.
I'm going to cast Distant Whisper
Yep.
at 2nd level,
Okay.
and I'm going to whisper, unless it can't hear for some reason. I believe at love at first sight, but science calls it an erection. And it needs to make a wisdom save.
A wisdom save. That is a 7.
Fail. 13 points of psychic damage.
13 points.
nice.
Must
Wow.
immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as away as its speeds allows
Oh, I
from
like
me.
that.
Okay. So that will then happen on its go, right?
No, immediately. Its reaction.
What do you mean its reaction?
It must immediately use its reaction,
Yeah,
if available, to move as far as away as its speed allows.
but it can't move because it's...
I don't know. I didn't write the
I
card.
think
I don't-
you can't use a reaction and you're going to move 30 feet away.
Yeah, but it has to move on its go because it doesn't have a...
Either way, it goes next. So
Yeah. So it moves 30 feet. Actually, even more than that, you see it burrow into the ground. and you see a furrow of dirt move away from you after it's burrowed under the ground. So it's moved right away. But at the same time, you see even further away up the area. So again, on the far side of the camp.
Another furrow.
40 feet even further, so 100 feet away from your original starting spot, another creature pops out of the ground. And then a third one pops out of the ground on the grassy knoll side to the south of the camp as well. That one is only 75 feet away from you. So it's this one was the closest to you.
Oh.
We're going to need to call in Vincent Van Cow.
Yeah, I've got an infestation here, it seems.
And you can see even the last one pops up so close to one of the tents, the tent falls over, its remaining tent pole snapping, and you can see it gets tangled a little bit in the canvas, and it's dragging the canvas as it's moving along.
JR, what are these things? I don't even...
Lobsters.
Excellent.
Yeah. So two of them move out and one of them moves in. That brings us to Maradius.
So 100 feet away, you say?
100 feet away or 75 feet, but the one that's 75 feet, almost you can see it through the brush of a tree, there's a tree kind of in the way.
Yeah.
Or trees.
Maradius is going to move 30 feet towards the one that's about 75 feet.
Mhm.
Yep, just to get it definitely within javelin distance and throw another javelin with a reckless attack again to get advantage on that roll. I'm assuming there'd be some kind of cover or some...
Yeah, so there is cover from the tree line that's there.
So with advantage, he's on 17.
That's definitely going to hit even with that cover.
That seems a ridiculous kind of 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage, and you are 45 feet away from this creature. So I don't know if that changes anything.
No.
And then you're another 25 feet on top of that away from the next
So 45,
creature.
65.
So 45... 25, I'm just doing maths in my head, 50, 60, 70 feet away from the
45 and 70 feet from me.
Yeah.
And
You're almost standing on top of where the other one burrowed.
Out,
you think it's gone a little further towards its creature that's 100 feet away.
And just to be
but
clear,
it's under the ground.
JR's well back behind me.
30 feet.
And Nikron's way up in the air.
Yeah.
30 feet and up. There's a triangle there, and I don't want to get into it.
So I don't need to worry about safety. I'm right at the front of what could be attacked.
You are Nikron.
So the one I originally shot chipped off.
It is nowhere to be seen at the moment. It is underground.
So I've only got one that's coming in.
Kicked around.
And how far away is that from me?
75 feet.
Okay, so I will, with a 24 to hit.
That is definitely going to hit, even with the cover of the trees.
Yep, fire off another firebolt coming straight out of the tips of my wings for 7 points of damage this time.
Ooh, lovely.
So which one did you attack?
I guess
same
the
one that you
were.
just
The one that I just attacked?
Yeah.
Well done, focus fire. That's the way to do it.
Okay,
Take them down one at a time.
Round number 3, J.R. Lockwood.
Do you guys want me to keep hammering them with spells, or do you want me to
do something, please.
Okay, noting no healing if I use all my spells for offensive.
Use your bow, crossbow, javelin.
I have a rapier, but other than that, it's spells for me.
Spells.
Okay. So that other one that is coming up to him, the same one that they're having to go at.
Mm-hmm.
Another dissonant whisper at second level.
Mm-hmm. You'll have to move to get there, so you'll have to move up because it's 75 feet away from you.
Okay. I will move up 15 feet.
Mm-hmm. So halving the distance, which means you're 15 foot behind Maradius now, and it makes a will save.
Yep. And I'm going to say, what do you call a frustrate... I've messed up the punchline of that joke. What do you call an annoyed lobster? A frustration.
It's so annoyed that you fucked a simple, terrible joke up that it begins to burrow under the earth as it takes some damage.
13 points of psychic damage.
Did you just roll that until you got the 6?
No, I just used both 2-level spell slots.
Okay. That brings us to the creatures. Now, that's only one round that it has to move away?
Yes.
Yeah. So, popping up from the ground about 20 feet in front of you you see the initial creature that JR had dissonant whispered to.
The one with my good javelin in it.
Yeah, there's a dissonant whisper. Whoa, whoa. So it pops out of the ground about 20 feet away using its movement to get out of the ground. The one that you threw the not so good javelin at drops down into the ground, and you see again a furrow moving away. The one 100 feet away is the one that we were going to start with. So that's the one that's 70 feet away from you now because you've moved 30.
Yep.
So it moves 60 feet up, but can do nothing more than be 10 foot away from you at this point. And the one that's popped out of the ground that was dissonant whispered before it actually moves to base with you.
Oh, it's come back and
it's in base to base with you,
Right.
but that's all of its movement that it can possibly do.
I see.
Mm-hmm. So Maradius, it is your go to return fire, volley, whatever you wish.
Well, at that point, I think Maradius is going to dig within the deep well of rockiness inside him and rage up. He will let the lava explode. Mr. Lava. And he's going to draw his great axe and with a frenzy attack, he's going to reckless attack.
Yep.
So the reckless attack will give me advantage on the first attack.
Yes.
The frenzy attack will give me second attack.
Okay.
And
so what do they do? Like, what was the impact? Like, can you do them forever, or is that chain that you were talking about last week that you go down?
No. So the frenzy attack, if I get the advantage, I get disadvantage on anyone attacking me.
Okay.
So they'll get
advantage. What about
against me?
The other one?
The other one is the rage. Yes, I will come out of this and be in exhaustion.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
So the first attack at advantage is a. Sorry, I'm adding rage on now too, but it'll hit at 22.
It certainly will.
Finding the right dice. Sorry.
Let's see if you can beat a magic user's 13 or 12.
That's 4 points of damage on the first hit. And
what? Aren't you a barbarian?
Sorry, 7 points of damage on the first hit, and 3 on a D12. And then the second hit comes in not at advantage at 12 to hit.
12 is going to miss this creature. So it is not going to hit at all.
And then he's going to move back.
But you can see the remains of your favorite javelin sticking out of it. Just a shard.
It's ruined.
Of its former self.
It's ruined now. He's going to move back. No, he's going to move sideways. No, if he moves, he gets attacked, doesn't he?
You can move around the creature as long as you don't disengage with the creature.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. So you can actually move around, but you cannot disengage. Otherwise, the creature.
He's a little worried that this thing. I wonder if it's possible for him to do a knowledge check on this thing.
Mm-hmm.
He's wondering how many attacks it might have.
Yep.
What knowledge might that be?
Nature.
Oh, he rolled a 9.
Yeah, you think that perhaps this creature is the head of the Roman Catholic Church. With the way that it's crowned. But then you're looking at it and you're like, oh, no, it's more lobster, maybe from the 40K universe.
Okay. He will start to move around it so it doesn't move towards JR. He's going to try and draw it, so it'll take...
So which way are you moving around it? So remember that there's another creature 10 foot back from you as well. You're going to move so that you're in between the two of them so they can flank you.
I want to put it in between the two, so the other one has to move around the one I'm fighting to get to me.
Yeah. Okay. That then brings us back to Nykren.
Okay, so I can still only see one, which is the one that reemerged from previously.
No, you can see two. So there's one in base to base with Maradius, and there's one 10 foot away from Maradius.
Okay, so the one 10 foot away from Maradius, because
the one that's in base to base is the one that popped back up.
Yeah,
and then the one that's 10 feet away is
does
the one.
Maradius look like he's holding his own? Doesn't look. Yeah, so the one that's 10 foot away.
Yep.
I'm going to take another shot at.
Yep.
That's a 20 to hit.
Yeah, they'll definitely slice in. You are rolling 15s amazingly.
Like gravy here.
Yeah. So no, just to put this into perspective, the barbarian did 7 points of damage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. How you going?
8 points of damage.
And you can do that all day.
Yep.
All day.
All day.
All day.
Yep.
All day.
All day.
All
no,
day.
no repercussions on that one.
No,
No repercussions.
You don't get
no,
tired.
Yeah.
No exhaustion track.
No, just
No disadvantage on your next.
No spell slots used up for that at
Yeah,
all.
just
It's a
all day.
cantrip. It's a
just
cantrip.
all day. Just something that you can do all day.
You know,
No
lost
problem.
javelin.
No.
No, nothing being used up.
All right.
Nothing
All
used up.
day.
Sometimes, Brett, I see your point.
Javelins cost 2 gold pieces.
Yeah. I see your point sometimes with this game. It is designed. Why wouldn't you play a magic user in this game? It is really.
Why wouldn't you play a better game?
Whoever designed this really did design it with a love of magic users in their world. Round number 4. J.R. Lockwood, what are you going to do?
Okay, so the one in base space with Meridius.
Yes.
I'm going to use one of my cantrips now.
Yep.
Vicious Mockery.
Yep.
So 5d8 damage
No, not quite.
from 120
and I'm
feet.
going to say, we're going to eat you just like we did your wife last night. And needs to make a will save.
Okay.
She tasted fishy.
So, 14. It's a wisdom save, isn't it?
Fail by 1.
Okay.
2 points of psychic damage, and it gets disadvantage on its next attack.
Okay. Okie dokie. And that brings us to 2 of these large creatures. The first one, the one that is base to base with Meridius, is going to go first. It, let's see how this works, comes out with its large mandibles.
Well,
They
hang on.
reach. Yep.
I've got reckless attack, so that's disadvantage.
Uh-huh.
Plus, you've got disadvantage. Does that even itself out? What happens there?
It evens itself out.
It's just a roll.
No. Oh, yeah.
I've got advantage. He's got disadvantage. It evens
Yep.
itself out. So it's just a roll.
Still better than...
It's great. It's great.
Yeah. So its large mandibles come pincering towards you, towards your midsection, almost like a Conan the Barbarian being squeezed by a large animal. That is going to be not a bad roll. That is 22 to hit you.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Oh. Okay. This is a nasty, nasty piece of work. You take 10 points of slashing damage plus another 3 points of acid damage, and you are grappled.
Oh.
10 points of slashing, you say. I've raged up, so that is halved.
Okay.
So
And then
it's-
3 points of acid.
8 altogether.
So as it's like it's just pincered you around the side, your arm, one of your arms is sort of kind of pinned to its side, and you feel like an acid burn as as like its saliva almost is drooling down its mandibles upon you, and you can hear a sizzling kind of sound.
Oh, cool.
With that said, that creature is in grapple. There is another creature that is near you that moves 30 foot up all the way to J.R. Lockwood and is going to try the same thing against him. J.R. Lockwood, 15 to hit you.
Hits.
As its mandibles also manage to find purchase around you. Doing 9 points of slashing damage and 6 points of acid damage. And you are also grappled. You also see further in the distance about from where are you? So this was the 70 foot. So from you, Nykron,
Yep.
because you're the only character that's not grappled at the moment, 90 foot, 95 feet away from you, a creature pops out of the ground and then moves. Actually, it would be 80 feet away, just pops out of the ground.
Okay. I can't shoot into grappling, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Can.
You might have disadvantage on those.
Oh.
Under the cover rules, perhaps.
You certainly can shoot into a grappled.
Yep.
These
Okay.
are big guys. Big things.
Yep. All right. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it is your. Well, it's Meridius's turn technically first. So let's go to that
Oh.
one because Meridius may want to try to escape the grapple.
Can I attack while in grapple? Is it one-handed and light? What's the...
Well, let me read to you. Now, this is. I was just going.
I was on D&D Beyond and it wasn't giving me enough depth into the grapple rules, or grapple is absolutely simplified in this system.
Correct.
It is very simplified. I was reading it earlier today. Okay, grappling. I'm going to read you the grappling rules right now so that you know and we are all on the same page for this. When you want to grab a creature or wrestle with it, you can use your attack action to make a special melee attack called a grapple. If you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack replaces one of them. The target of your grapple must be no more than one size larger than you and must be within your reach. Using at least one free hand or mandible, you try to seize the target by making a grapple check instead of an attack roll. This creature has something that allows that to happen because it's the attack roll. A strength check contested by the target's strength check as athletics or dexterity check. So you're looking at either your strength or dexterity when we make this opposed check. The target chooses the ability. You succeed automatically if the target is incapacitated. If you succeed, you and the subject are in the grappled condition, and I'll get to that in a second.
Right.
The condition specifies the things that end it, and you can release the target whenever you like. No action required. Escaping a grapple. A grappled creature can use its action to escape. To do so, it must succeed on a strength or dexterity check contested by the creature's.
And you're not drinking.
No, again, it's been a long day. And yeah, so basically, if you are being grappled, the creature can move with you as well with no penalty. The grappled condition, just so that you know, your speed, because you are grappled, is 0, and you cannot benefit from any bonuses to speed. The condition will end if you're incapacitated. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappling person.
Like death?
No, that's incapacitated, I would say. So
So
right
no
now it
limits
is your
on how
go.
to attack it, though.
So what's that?
I can attack it with my great axe and still frenzy attack and reckless attack.
It's correct.
Sure,
He just
sure.
read the whole rules and didn't say anything about it. So,
Assuming, you know,
Go for
knowing
gold.
this creature doesn't need to roll an opposed check when it grapples, it just grapples automatically. So I want to get out of it by killing it rather than just escaping it.
Yeah, it does look like you can just...
do whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the other games rules say that you can attack while grappled, so I can't see why you couldn't do that. So
This is a...
have you got a one-handed weapon
No,
in
this
your
is
hand?
a two-handed weapon, heavy two-handed
So
weapon.
I would think that perhaps you would need a one-handed weapon for the grapple, but it
Why?
doesn't say so.
Grab him around the waist.
yeah.
He's got 2 hands above his head.
I did say one of his hands is pegged by his side, actually, Lindsay, if you recall when I said that. Yeah, no rules against it. Let's do it.
Frenzy and...
I'm overthinking it.
I'm
I'm
in-
pathfindering it.
I'm in
Up.
range, reckless, frenzy, all of that stuff. The first hit is a 20 to hit.
That is definitely going to hit.
Oh my!
What is this? A warhammer?
A great axe.
A great axe.
And that is 12 points of damage on the first hit.
Okay. The great axe slices through one of its mandibles, popping it to the ground. The creature itself shrieks in horror as the flow through of that axe goes straight into its face, cleaving it in half.
I've killed
the
it.
creature drops to its knees.
Excellent.
Incapacitated, perhaps dead.
I'll use my move action
Mostly dead.
Okay. I'll use my move action to move to the second creature and then attack it with my second attack.
Okay.
Is that
Barbarians!
the one that's holding JR? Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Can you catch me if I fall?
Nope. Frenzy.
Yeah, we are frenzies.
25 to hit.
25 is definitely going to hit.
8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. The same amount of damage that you did from the sky last time, if I recall correctly.
Correct.
Wow. Can you do all that? Like, that was with no penalty? You can do that all day, or are you taking...
No, I've got penalties.
Oh,
I've got,
okay,
Yeah,
penalties
yeah. If
that
anyone
are
wants,
going
if this one's going to attack me now, it's going to get advantage on that attack. And
It's interesting
I'll
that...
get tired at the end of 10 of these rounds, and then I'll be severely incapacitated.
It is interesting to me. Like, are you getting a bonus to your damage?
I
when
do
you-
get +2 to damage.
Just a +2 to damage.
Oh, look.
Does
hang
that,
on.
because it's a
So-
two-handed weapon, is that more?
Uh,
Or am I pathfindering this?
You're
again?
pathfindering.
Pathfindering it. There's no addition because the weapon has to be wielded two-handed. It's
Yeah.
built into the die, the D12.
Yeah. 8 points. What's your strength?
I get a +2 on strength, plus a +2 for rage.
Yeah.
But I
Plus
also get resistance on bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. So my armor
Yeah.
is significantly better.
Okay. And this is a D12 weapon?
Yeah.
And you get +4 to it,
Yeah.
and you did 8. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure you're not dealing. It seems like as a barbarian, you're getting screwed.
Seems like I'm cheating, right?
It seems like something's not really in keeping.
If anyone
with
else
characters
knows
here.
this game system better than me,
Yeah, are we
A-
doing something wrong? Because it seems like we're doing something wrong to me.
A, I'm sorry, and B, can you tell us what we're doing so this character can be good or
Yeah.
even better or
I-
just useful?
Yeah, it seems like something's amiss.
Are you
to
just
me.
rolling shit?
Well, there's that.
Well, there is that, but even then, we're talking his top damage at that level is 16. So that's a decent amount of damage.
No, it's 32.
Right.
'Cause I
But
get
how
2
many
hits.
times can he attack per turn potentially?
2.
So it's a total of 64 points of damage max.
2.
2. So it's
Six-
20, 32.
32.
Oh,
32 points of damage. So
For a minute.
unless he's getting crits. But for me, it just seems like what's your base damage right now from doing your
it's
fiery
whatever
bolt?
the dice roll is.
No, but what's the dice roll?
D10 for the
D10.
firebolt.
Yeah.
On a cantrip.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see my point here? He's putting a lot of
yeah.
time into this, and he can't. He has to rest for days to get that
the
away.
thing is, as well, from the sorcerer's point of view, yes, that's great. But it's very one-dimensional because when I start looking up at level 1, level 2 spells, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I could cast something that does 3d6 or 3d8, but there's a Dex 13
How
save
does
that
that
they've got
make
to
you
make.
feel that the 3d6, like hearing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
the thing is,
I
they
do
got
have-
they got to fail a Dex of 13 DC, which
Yeah.
I don't think is that hard. Whereas the firebolt for D10 is just like +5 on a hit roll,
Yeah.
and it's done.
But you can do that
great.
all day.
I mean, my
Yeah.
variety is I can do a hand axe at 1d6 +4 or a javelin at 1d6 +4 or hit it with my fist at 3 points of damage.
Anyway, no crit.
All right, so what's it looking like now? We've got one dead prawn,
Yeah, one dead one that is lying on the floor.
one about to be dead.
And one that has J.R. Lockwood in its mandibles with Moradius attacking it, and then one that is
90 feet away, or is it 80 feet away?
from you.
Yeah.
It is, let's say, about 80 feet away.
Okay, so if I fire into the combat here, I'm going to be on disadvantage. Is that correct?
Firing into combat.
Into
yes.
these guys
Yes.
grappled in combat. Okay,
I
so
believe so.
Okay, so let's see if I can get worse than that. I actually can. Okay, so I rolled a 1
Ooh.
Oh,
and a 6.
okay.
So
So
it's just 6 in total.
it is going
Disadvantage.
to miss, and because this game system is as it is, there's no fumble cards. We don't have a fumble
so I
deck.
don't get the chance
Until
to.
we make a fumble deck.
Yeah, there is no fumble card. Oh, you are permanently stooped because you grew up with gnomes.
Have 10 gold pieces.
No, I fall out of the
And a bonus to tracking.
I fall out of the air because my erection affects the airflow.
You got a rudder.
That's it.
Yeah. So the bird doesn't have a red rocket. So essentially, shoo, just
Yep.
goes missing.
Correct.
you
Yeah,
know,
goes wide.
yeah, no chance of it hitting your friends into this combat, and that leads us to round number 5. J.R. Lockwood, you are currently grappled.
I'm going to do another dissonant whisper at this one.
Okay.
I'm going to go, once we're done with you, you're going to be like a Japanese man in a rock slide. A crushed Asian.
Now, is that a spell?
Yes, but it's only verbal, so suck it.
Don't have to do a concentration check or anything like that.
No,
Okay. Even
that's a
while
wizard
being,
thing.
Even while being damaged.
None of my spells are concentration.
Thought all spells while being damaged. Anyway, again,
5e.
So only if you're holding the spell,
Yeah,
not
again.
if you're casting it.
spellcasters. Somebody loved spellcasters when they wrote this.
Anyway, wisdom save, please.
It fails.
Now, if this thing goes to underground with JR,
Uh-huh.
this is going to be amazing.
13 points of damage,
Okay.
psychic damage, and must move away from me as far as it can.
13.
Yep.
On a cantrip.
No, it's a level 1 spell.
Ah.
Interesting that he's done 3 of those already, too.
I did 2 at level 2 and 1 at level 1.
Can't wait for me to get +5 weapons to increase my abilities. Can't wait for the magic to flow.
Yeah, but I don't think even then it's going to happen. All right.
It's got to run away. Scared.
Does have to run
little
away
bitch.
from you.
As far away from me as possible.
So it has to drop him.
Well, it doesn't say it has to drop you, does it?
Well,
It must use
by
it.
definition, to run away from him, it's going to have to disengage, right?
Well, it's scared of him and it can run away from where he is, but it also has an intelligence of 1.
You're the DM.
So, because it is grappling you and it is around the midsection, let's let the dice decide
I don't mind. I'm fine.
what
either.
happens here. It drops you on a 1. Yeah, and then it takes straight underground.
Can I take an opportunity
You
attack against it?
definitely can, as it moves away from you into a
Going
burrow.
underground.
Get fucked.
A dice has flown across the room. We are unhappy with our character choice and our dice.
And our damage output.
And our damage output that is not having fun. So yes, that drops under the ground and it starts. You see the furrow move
Can
away.
the halfling? Oh, halfling has no weapons.
I have weapons. They're just not
Not in
drawn.
hand. Yeah.
Yeah. So moving away, and then we find ourselves right now from. I'm just doing some quick maths.
Quick math.
Don't do that.
The other Ankeg moves around into a spot where it's with 30-foot movement because it can't get right into base to base, but it lines the 2 of you up. And
Two
it
of who?
spits JR and Maradius, and it spits
With an intelligence of 1, it lines us 2 up.
and it spits
It's been hunting all
acid
its life.
at both of you. Can I please have a dexterity saving throw from each of you?
Everything okay down there?
I get advantage on dex against. Well, I'm not blinded, deafened, or incapacitated, so I'll have an advantage on this roll.
Okay.
Is what I was checking.
All right. So we'll start with, while you're doing that, JR, what did you get?
14.
A 14 dex check. You take 5 points of damage as you manage to move out the way and you get a little sizzle on the edge.
Natural 20.
You
21.
also take 5 points of damage as you move out of the way and get a little sizzle on the edge.
Call that 3 points of damage.
A little sizzle.
Oh no, it's acid damage, right?
It is acid damage, yes.
It's 5 points of damage.
Okay, Maradis, it is your go, and this creature is now, because it moved, it is about 15 feet away from you.
It's going to continue to reckless and frenzy attack.
Yep.
Move up.
Yep.
2 attacks.
Yep.
Well, the first he runs in with a big overhand chop on his great axe. You'll notice he doesn't talk much through combat. He goes within himself and it's all about the combat.
Would you call that a stony silence?
Yep. Particularly while he's raging. He's stone cold. 17 to hit on the first overhand chop as he brings his great
Certainly
axe over the
is
top
going to hit.
for 9 points of damage.
Yep.
You can all know what I rolled. And then the second attack is a natural 20.
Oh, that is a critical, so you can double that damage.
Double damage!
Did you say 2?
I did.
I don't even think that's possible.
I did roll a 2, and then I rolled a 12.
Okay, nice.
So 14 plus 8, it's 22.
No, you only get your strength once on a crit.
Do I?
Yeah, it doesn't double. That's your pathfindering it.
Oh, cool.
It's only the dice roll on a crit that gets doubled.
18 points of
18
damage.
points of damage.
As he comes back up under its neck and just slices across its neck underneath.
You slice through its neck, taking its front legs away as they fly through the air, and a gory gout of greenish horror
Nice
sprays
alliteration.
all over you.
Nice alliteration.
How are we able to kill
And
frickin'
it is-
Ankegs,
and
but
it
we can't
is
kill rats?
Where rat?
The
Dead.
rats.
Still.
Which leaves one underground. So that is now your go, Nikron, but you cannot see the one that is
So I'll just ready in
burrowing
action. The minute it pops up,
under
I'm going
the
to
ground.
unleash a fiery bolt.
Okay.
Go, Nikron, go underground. You really like it under there. I know that.
Round number 6. What are you going to do? JR lock to the woods.
I'm going to use another level 1 spell and cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Yep. See how many spells they've got? Like, how many rounds have you
He's
got?
got healing.
Yeah, how many rounds have you got of dropping of that stuff?
We've had 4 rounds going, right? That's
No, this is round number 6.
but I didn't rage up until I
Okay.
was grappled. So
Yeah.
Only.
So how
healed
many of
my-
those can you do a day?
well, I can do 3, but each time I'll go further
3
down
rounds
the
a day.
exhaustion track.
So 3 rounds of that a day.
No,
Oh,
3 minutes a day.
Oh, 3 minutes. Gotcha. Okay, so
Only heal myself 6 points.
okay, only.
And
6
also,
points.
I've used 4 of my 6 spell slots. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I
I'm,
was
I'm,
just,
I'm, I'm not keeping them.
I was
I've
just.
used one of my best javelins.
I'm just saying,
That
if
is
we
true.
go into another combat after this, you're going to be a lot more effective than I am because I'm not going to be able to do anything.
That is true. Nikron, you get a go as this creature pops out of the ground.
Alrighty. That is a 23 to hit.
23 is definitely going to hit.
Let's roll my. Oh, I've been rolling d12s all this. No, I'm joking.
That should be D20s.
It's another 8 points of damage.
8 points of.
This is the Nicron 8. So I think we're going to start a new era.
It's not a bad era.
No.
Yeah, a fiery bolt goes through it, and you see its flesh where your bolts are getting it turn sort of pink and white at the same time as you are
Lobsters on Salt Beach.
slowly boiling it. It looks around.
Is he starting to scream? As the
Yeah.
steam's escaping his.
Yeah, but it's a very silent. Oh, maybe you would hear it from a creature this size. It's got 2 opponents that it could possibly go. It's pretty pissed off at the little one for making it angry at it. It's also pissed off at the big one for killing both of its children. I don't know why I rolled that. I was supposed to roll a percentage. So let's see. High, Moradius. Low, JR Lockwood. Watch it be Moradius. 22. J.R. Lockwood. It crawls.
Get away from him, you bitch.
Yeah. So it moves up to you. Actually,
Oh, that's why it's so mad at me because I
killed it.
made a joke assuming that it was a male earlier.
yeah, it's part of the Albacotois. I don't think it sounds nice. Albacotois. It spits at you.
Oh, yeah.
And you need to make a dexterity check, please.
The dog.
Gladly. 18.
18. You take half of what I just rolled. 2 points.
Fuck.
Good job. You
I'm
healed that
rolling
6.
a barbarian level of damage right now.
Yeah.
All right, and that gets us to the man of the moment, the crouching tiger, and the hidden dragon, Moradius.
So can you move up to that one?
Yeah,
And, a move and a frenzy and
Yeah.
all of the things again. There's the natural one.
Oh, fuck. Well, you get advantage, right?
Lucky I've got a 9 on the
negate
other
that.
one.
Yeah. Oh, God. But
Thir-
even with the 9,
13. That takes it to.
you just missed. That was very, very close. Nikron is
Second
not
attack.
now. Sorry. Oh, yeah, nice.
Second attack is 18 plus 4 is 22 for 12 points of damage.
12 points of damage. is
Sick of
enough.
swinging for air.
You, with your angry overhead Chopu, just...
Oh, no, this is with a stick of butter and some garlic.
Oh, well, you get shoulder deep. And,
Massaging good.
yeah. You rip off one of its arms, pulling that little cord inside
Yeah.
and making its mandibles click back and forward.
Chop
you
its
do
head
a
off with its
lobster.
own claw.
Yeah. You destroy this creature. Its head hits the floor with a sickening thunk.
Nice.
And it kind of burrows itself into one of the holes, and you are left with a scene of 3 creatures. And even these creatures, as you can see, the blood coming out of them, they sizzle a little bit. I imagine with the amount of acid that they have, there's a bladder inside of them that they can spit out, and some of that saliva is eking out of them, and there's a little sizzle in their body that's starting to melt
Gross.
the ground and get around. But again, you can see this is probably what caused most of the damage to the tents and the 2 tent cities that are around here across the river, like we talked about. Maybe that was the dragon, because you can see it's kind of melted, icy kind of high stuff, whereas this is all ruts in the ground and like things that have come up through tents. And you can imagine Imagine just the horror of that you're sleeping at nighttime and then all of a sudden this thing just
gross.
from the bottom
Not just
of your
one of
tent.
them, 3 of them.
Yeah. It's
Spitting
gross.
acid on you.
It
Awful.
is gross. And with that, you know what? We're going to meet up next week and we're going to try this again.
Time for
you know
a rest.
what? To the audience,
Marius.
I say, use your imagination this week. Have an adventure inside your mind. Take the time.
Picture 10.
With your erection.
With your unexpected.
That's great. I'll have disadvantage on all ability checks from here on in today.
I have always been shit scared of ant kegs, and,
Yeah, me
that
too.
was a pretty. Although, can I say, you did fucking shitloads of damage to those things. Those things have 39 hit points each.
Yeah,
And you guys took those out. Like, I guess
100
the
hit
fiery
points.
bolts
Yeah.
do a lot of damage.
That's pretty consistent.
The running
eights,
away, getting
boys.
them, like once they get you in grapple, like that's a bad business as well. But having them run away